In this program, we are going to be taking a look at problem number 4, which is a sales commission calculator program. And the question says, one large chemical company pays its salespeople on a commission basis. The salespeople receive 200 naira per week plus 9% of their gross sales for that week. For example, a salesperson who sells 5,000 naira worth of chemicals in a week receives 200 naira plus 9% of 5,000 naira, or a total of 650 naira. So we are asked to develop a program that will use scanf to input each salesperson's gross sales for last week and calculate and display that last salesperson earnings. Process one salesperson figures at a time. This particular question was adapted from See How to Program by Detail Knit Edition exercise 3.18. So we have a little algorithm here to assist us in trying to tackle this particular problem. So we have we are first of all going to read cells or a means to exit out of the loop. So we provide the user with a means to get out of the program because we are going to make use of a loop. First of all, the loop will read earning, will compute earning after getting the cells from the initial stage, from the first read of an input that we did in line 12. So it's going to first of all calculate earnings based on the information that was given on the question, 200 naira, which is a constant, plus 9% of the sales, of the gross sales. Then it's going to print out earning, and then it's going to ask for next cells or a means of exiting the loop, so that it will not result into what we call an infinite loop. An infinite loop is a loop that runs continuously forever because no means of exiting out of the loop has been actually been provided. So here we are. I've already created a file and I've named it salescalculator.c. So now we are first of all going to have a prompt to prompt the user to enter cells. So we have a print format, and then we are going to see enter cells. So we are going to see enter cells, enter cells in naira, O-1 to exit, O-1 to exit, and the user is going to do so. The user is going to enter cells in naira, O-1 to exit. So now he has entered, but the program doesn't know about anything that the user is going to enter. So we need to declare a variable to contain what the user is going to enter. So we are going to have a variable double, and then we are going to say cells. Next, we need to have a function that will get this particular input that the user is going to provide it from the keyboard. So we are going to say we know it is cells, it's in double. The conversion specifier for double is LF, and then we are going to store it in address of cells. So now we can make use of our while or do while to compute these calculations. All right. So let me make use of while, which is more preparable than the do while. So we have while, and then we have our condition that while cells, because we know the user is going to enter cells, so while cells is not equal to -1.0, because we ask the user in line number 10 to enter cells or -1 to exit. So once he enter -1, that means he doesn't want to compute anything, so the program will just terminate. So we have this, and then we have let me just make a comment here. I write end while. All right, so we have this. Now we are going to compute the cells as we have in our algorithm here. We say we are going to have a process. We are going to compute earning. So we are going to say here earning. Earning is what? Earning is 200 naira, which is constant. 200 multiplied by 9 divided by 100, which is 9%, multiplied by cells. So let me just add a more parenthesis here to make it more clearer, because we are computing 9% of cells. So we have 200 naira times No, okay, sorry, it's not times here. We are adding the 200 naira, which is constant, with this particular percentage of the cells. So we have 200 naira plus 9% of the cells that the this particular cells person makes. All right, so we have any. Now the next thing we need to do, let's go back to our algorithm as well. We need to print out the, so we need to print out the earning. So we are going to print out the earning. So we have print format, and then we have the earning is, then we just print out the earning. But we haven't declared earning. The program doesn't know about anything about earning, so we need to declare earning as a variable. So we have here earning. Let's have it as double earning. So we are going to have it as earning is percentage conversion specifier for double is LF, and then we're going to have double. Okay, so we have earning and we are printing the earning. Now the next thing we need to do is to demand for the next salesperson's gross sales, or it means to exit the loop, so that it will result into an infinite loop. So we say the same prompt that we have here. We enter sales in error or -1 to exit. So let me just copy this one here. And then we have -1 to exit, and then we have our scanf to get the cells, and then our scanf here. Let's get this. So we don't need to declare cells, because cells has been declared outside of this while structure. So anything within this particular while structure, any statement with this while structure can be able to access these variable cells. So we don't need to declare it again within the body of this while control structure. So we have scanner cells. Okay, so now enter cells in error or -1 to exit, and then we have cells. So the program has cells depending on what the user has entered. If the user has entered -1, then the program will terminate, else it will proceed to calculate the cells. So far this is enough to tackle that particular problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to the terminal and try to run it and see what we are going to get. Okay, so let me clearly screen here. So we have cells calc, cells. Okay, what is the name of the file? Let me go over it again. Let me get the name of the file profile. Now the file is cellscalc.c. Cellscalc.c. Okay, so my bad, I didn't even write the name of the compiler, so I need to say gcc cellscalc.c, and then we want to output it as cells calc. So we have arrow. So we have line number 20. The earning is expected expression before double. Expected expression before double. Line number 20. Printf. The earning is LF double. All right. So what do we have here? What do we have in the arrow? Line number 20 and line number 31. Line number 20. So let me go to line number 20 and see what the issue is. Line number 20. The earning is LF double. The earning is print format and double. Okay, what is the problem here? Okay, line number 30. All right, I'm saying double. Double is a keyword. It's a double is a keyword. It's supposed to be earning. Oh, supposed to be earning. Okay, which is the name of the variable. Okay, so line number 30. What do we have? Line number 30. What is line number 30? What is the issue? Enter cells in there. Okay, we have another something that is not supposed to be there. Of course, we have end main and line number 28. Everything must be contained within main. It's another something that was redundant, that is not within the program. So let me go back again. I'll try to reconcile this particular. So the program has successfully compiled. We don't have any issue. So let me run it again and see. Enter says an error or -1 to exit. So if I just enter -1, the program will exit, will terminate. Let me run it again and see. Now let me enter 5,000 naira, which was given in the question. So we have the earning is 200 naira. But I don't think the calculation is right. 5,000 naira, the calculation is 200 naira. Something is missing here, because according to the question, it's supposed to be something like 650. 200 naira plus 9% of 5,000 naira, total of 650 naira. So why are we not having the earning? Something, perhaps we didn't calculate the earning properly. It's supposed to be 200 naira plus 9. Alright, so the issue here is because of this 9 of 100, 9 divided by 100 result in an integer division. I suspect that the value is either probably 0. The whole of this result in 0. That is why we are having only 200 naira as the earning that was calculated, because 200 naira plus 0 will still be 200 naira. So that is why we are doing integer division. Integer division, the result is going to be truncated. So here we have to make them as a floating point, so that we are going, even if there's any division, when 9 divided by 1000 by 100, it will result in a floating point value, and we are going to have our floating point number, because 9 divided by 100 will definitely result in a floating point number. So we have this. So I think this will fix this particular issue. So let me go back again and try to I'm going to enter -1 and exit the program. So let me clear the screen, and then you compile the program, and then run it again. So sales calc, enter 5,000 naira. So we have 650 naira. So let me enter -1, try to improve the output. Let me go back again. So enter cells. You should begin on a new line. Also, the earning, we want it to be within 2 places of decimal. So .2, and we should have a naira symbol, since the denomination, the currency symbol is naira. So we should have N. If it is dollars, we can just use dollars. We are not dealing with dollars, we're dealing with naira. It's supposed to be naira, so it's supposed to be in naira. So let me go back again and recompile this particular code and run it and see. So here we have compile it, and then we run it again. Sales calc, we have enter as an error or -1 to exit. So we enter 5,000 naira, and we have the earning is 650 naira. Enter sales in naira or -1 to exit. Let's say they has to make 2,000 naira sales. So we have this earning is 380 naira. So enter as an error or -1 to exit. Let's exit -1, and the program has exit. So as we can see, this program is working perfectly well. So we have successfully tackled this particular problem.